So hi, Kathy. Great to see you. It's been numbers of years. I can't even think when it was that we met, but I do remember when I met you that you were indeed a courageous woman, and that was you were a leader of a group. I remember.
Yeah.
Called that. So can you just run us through what that was all about and how you supported women be their best?
It was a group for women survivors of sexual abuse, of which I was one myself some time ago. And wanted to do something that there was no groups that weren't run by counsellors, etc. There was nowhere for women just to get together and, help each other and be together and have a coffee or a tea or whatever. And the whole idea was that we had someone to come and speak every month. So it wasn't just about sitting there delving through, some heavy stuff, but to maybe inspire them and encourage them to, move past that. And so it was a great experience for me, awesome experience.
What sort of time frame were you involved with Courageous Women?
Gosh, I think probably
it's like a long time.
3 or 4 years, I think. Yeah, wow. So it was quite a while. So yeah. But as I say, great experience.
Right. And what were the common threads for women there? What sort of were the common threads and what they needed?
I think a lot of women felt the same. It was just nice to be able to talk to people that, or not even have to talk, just to be with people in a room that knew that they understood you. They knew where you were coming from. Even if they didn't want to say anything, it was just being with people that you wouldn't normally know how to contact. Do you know what I mean? It's like, yes, you could go to a support group, go to a counsellor and all that, and that's great. But just to be around people who understood how you felt, what you'd been through, how it made you feel, and they could be safe and secure in that as well, just to share.
And even, like I say, even if they were silent, there's a silent knowingness and a camaraderie, I guess, that what you've been through. And even though the experience may not be the same, but there's
some underlying threads that are common, regardless of your experience, how not so bad or really bad was, there's common threads in that for everybody, And
I want to honour you that. It's just reminded me, I came to you, I think I rang you up one day when I'd been through my own experience of molestation.
Yes.
This wasn't that long ago, a few years back. But for me, the hardest part of that experience for me was not being believed by my best friend.
Yes.
And the betrayal that I felt in that having occurred in her house.
Yeah.
And, for me to, even in the morning, be brave enough, courageous enough to tell her, knowing that, hey, we were both friends of hers.
Yeah.
But that whole feeling that, that you supported me in that. I get to hear you, and no matter what degree that looked like, it doesn't matter to me. It wasn't about the degree. It was about this occurred to me and it wasn't okay. Yeah. And I felt violated by that, and I also felt misheard, not even heard actually.
Yeah.
Misheard.
Yeah.
So that was incredibly helpful for me, and I wasn't attending your groups as such, but to know that someone's there going, hey, I hold your back.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, I hold you back.
Yeah.
So the value of support of women or women in circle must be big for you, yeah?
Yeah, absolutely. And it was, as I say, I'd done a lot of work on myself prior to that, but it was a work for me in and of itself, It was, it was an awesome experience. Wouldn't take it back for the world, It was part of my healing, if you like, and helping them to have somewhere to come and be safe and be okay,
So what did courage look like for you? It's called Courageous, or was called Courageous Women. Yeah. What did courage look like for you? Because I know courage for us women is different for each woman.
Yeah. I think for me, when I look back on it now, I found it really easy to stand up and be courageous on behalf of the woman, if you like.
So like an advocate, you mean, or like a...
just developing the group and all that, I suppose, and what it took to stand up and go out there and say to people, what the group was all about, and that I'd been through the same stuff and all that kind of stuff. But I felt really empowered to do that on behalf of the woman, you know. It was, yeah. And
so what was within your spirit that empowered you to do that? Because a lot of people go, oh, I don't have the courage, but you found that, or you mustered it up, or you did something, or it grew within you, out of you. I don't know what, you know, what was it that spurred your spirit to go, hey, I can do this, even though that possibly wasn't who you were.
I don't know, and I think back on it now, and I think it's not, it was great, but it's not the same as having the courage to do like my creative thing for myself. It's another completely different level again. You know, to do it on behalf of the woman was like, I don't know, it was just something inside me that I knew I had to do. You know, it was almost like this deeper level of my healing that I had to go to, and just doing something for the woman that had something done to them like me, maybe not exactly the same, but still the same kind of core, you know, and to do, it was just, I had no problem going. Was I scared to do some things? Yes. Was I scared to tell out there in the public, you know, put my name in the local paper and that? Yes, but at the end of the day, it empowers you. Putting it out there, actually, you take your power back.
So do you consider yourself, would you describe yourself as a caregiver? Because you're talking about, you know, you're...
Oh, I definitely was. Yeah, definitely was.
Not hearing yourself in there. It wasn't, hey, I was caring about myself enough.
I know. And
I cared enough for other women to go, hey, rah, I'm going to be behind this.
Yeah.
So where did you place yourself in that mix at that because... Yeah,
exactly that. And this is why this is a totally different scenario. What's happening for me now is the complete opposite of that. And now it's about me.
Great. So just backtrack a little. I'd love to plow a little bit further into that little question that I asked around caregiver, and where did you fit in that? What, as much as you help people, because some of us women are really superb at helping people, and in some ways can be a distraction from actually really getting to the core of our own stuff, and also being valuable enough or worthy enough to actually have us as the centre of attention, or the centre of support. So is that how it was for you? Or?
I think it was actually. It was easier to focus on the woman than it was to focus on myself. You know, at that point in my life, it was just, I found it no problem to focus on them and what they needed at the expense of myself and my relationship with my husband as well. So at the time, I mean, nothing's happened since then, but at the time it was at the expense of that as well. So,
So how have you become, rather than a caregiver, a care receiver?
By exploring what I believe is really part of who I am and who I see myself am now, which is a creative person, not a bookkeeper that I was for many, many, many moons. So exploring this whole creative side of me, which I had never allowed myself to do during my whole life. So very powerful process.
So numbers of years ago you came along to one of my stillness workshops over a weekend, I believe. And out of that I remember came some kind of book. Can you tell us what that book was?
Book. Oh yes, I did. I did actually. So I forgot about that. I did a book which was a mixture of photos and words, which was about taking a moment and just sitting quietly, doing whatever that was for you. And that was amazing. That was pretty amazing process for me too. And again, part of
creating this book, you mean?
Creating the book. I think, I love my photography, and that's where I've gone now. But just doing the book was also quite therapeutic. You know, my first poems that I'd ever written in my entire life. What was I then? I don't know, 40s probably, or no, it must have been a bit later than that. Completely that was probably a seed planted, I would say, as to what's happened now. It just took a little bit of...
The book by memory had some of your own photography in it, yeah?
Yes, most of it was all, I think all of it actually was my own photos. So, yeah, and also words that I had written myself. So be that all poetry or just, you know, insightful words. Yeah, so it was all my own photos and everything, and I did the whole thing myself online, and yeah, so when it first came, it was like, wow. Yeah, quite an awesome experience.
So do you remember yourself as a creative young woman?
No.
Tell me about that.
No, not at all. Aside from sort of the abuse side of my life, one of my first kind of major things for me, I suppose, was my dad leaving my life when I was a little girl, like 2 years old. So they were probably two really big things for me in my life that affected me very deeply. So no, I don't ever have that recollection of being that creative, you know, child, or even growing up, teenage. I mean, teenage for me was when the abuse happened. So yeah, I just don't ever remember. I mean, obviously it was there, I just never delved in. I guess it was my own safety mechanisms that kicked in, and it just wasn't an option. It was like too much.
It wasn't a means of expression that you could deal with or relate to some of these feelings, no?
No, it was, I think it was just too hard. So it was just like easier to kind of stay what I would have called safe. So, you know, compact everything down, stay really, almost in control, but you're not really.
So can you feel back into that moment and feel into your body as to where you locked that creativity away? Do you have a sense of where that sat, that locked feeling of creativity?
Probably in here, up sort of under my breast, if you like, and that top sort of, yeah.
And what does that place for you represent or feel like? Just go with the random.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a nice place to be now, definitely a nice place to be now. But yeah, it just, I suppose, used to be a scary place to go, I guess. Yeah, but yeah, no, it's a good place to go now.
So tell us about your creativity bent now. What's a funny word.
And it's something, probably thinking about it before, probably October around about 2014, I was doing bookkeeping part-time for a guy, and had been there since the beginning of that year. That was sort of my first frontier back into working outside and not from home or whatever. So so anyway, I sort of got to the point things weren't very busy. I was getting quite bored. Had learnt that the guy wasn't really a very nice person. But I sort of had figured that I was there for a reason to start with. I found some stuff that his previous bookkeeper had been doing that wasn't very good. And so, I was kind of looking for another job, I thought. And so had been looking and been to a few interviews. Nothing was really happening, didn't feel right. And I thought, I'm not going to jump ship just for, the sake of it. So hung in there until February the following year, when all of a sudden one day this man comes into the office and my boss says to me and the other guy that worked there, this is the new owner of the business. And we were like,
wow.
Okay, didn't even know it was up for sale, but there you go.
So this change, by the sounds of it, was your point of pivoting into something.
And the weird thing was that our new boss was like polar opposite to our old boss. It was like old boss new boss.
To the extremes.
Yeah, complete extremes. And the new boss, as we sort of very soon found out, was great guy, lovely guy, you know, great boss, gave me pay rises, you know, all this kind of stuff that happened. And then I'm going, okay, so actually it was really nothing to do with, you know, even though my old boss wasn't a very nice person, but it was actually nothing to do with him.
No.
It was actually what I was supposed to be doing myself.
So what was your soul yearning for at that moment?
I knew, I sort of had this feeling deep down it was something to do with photos. I'd actually gone off and bought myself a new camera. And it was, I had what I call a God-given epiphany, just that's my beliefs, about outdoor photos. And that was kind of where it all stemmed from. So,
have you loved nature all your life?
If I had to name something that really feeds me, it would have to be nature, particularly the beach for me. But nature, and then my photography. I mean, the more I've got into it in this last year, it's and even my husband's seen it in me. I start taking photos and I can just completely zone out the whole rest of the world. Everything else could fall apart and I'm all good. I'm all good. I just put that camera up there and it's like my super happy place. And it's like,
so have you seen a connection between your growing creativity, your love for, you know, being out there in nature and taking these photographs? Have you noticed a connection between that and your sense of your femininity?
Yeah, I have actually. It's been really, really interesting. It has been really interesting. And I was trying to think of something that a friend said to me about, because when I was saying to her about, you know, how when I'm really zoning in on taking a photo or something, it's like I completely lose myself. I'm just, nothing else matters. And I've never known any other experience in my life where I have had that feeling. And she said to me, but
what is it? How would you describe that feeling? Is it a feeling of completeness or at oneness, or what is that?
Yeah, it's interestingly, she said to me, that's kind of like your, I can't remember the exact word she said, but it was like you're getting in touch with that really feminine place in you, you know, that really divine sort of, because it is. It's just like, it is. It's just an amazing, it's just like I zone out. It's like.
And do you notice that that zoning out feeling in your body? I mean, how do you notice that? Like, is it a calmness, a peace?
Yeah, it is. It is.
I don't know what it is.
It is a calmness and a peace, and a security. I just feel completely safe. It's just, you know, I mean, I go out to different places early in the morning before, you know, sunrise and take photos, and you're like, people can come up and tap me on the shoulder just to say, you know, have a chat or whatever, and I'm like just about to leap out of my skin because I'm just so focused and on, you know, and just
What's fascinating, what I hear is that, you know, in your kind of past life, let's call it, that real thing around safety and quite masculine energy, and now there's been this turning point, which is not surprising to us who love this kind of work, but you know, that when we get into our creative, I call it the womb space actually.
Well, it's a good.
Creativity often sits in our womb space. You know, that's where we create babies. It's also where our creative juices sit really, and that's probably why I asked you about where that other feelings. But you know, when we really start to be more playful and in zone in our creative space as women, then that's often our access point for feeling more feminine. So what does feminine mean to you?
Being more girly, I suppose, just having fun. And as growing up as a teenager, I was very tomboyish. I think that came from, well, a lot of my my siblings, my two ones closest to me in age were my brothers, and we spent a lot of time together. But I think a lot of that was because of the abuse, and I thought that the femininity was what caused the problem.
I got it.
So, it was like, okay, let's just shut
so
that down.
Some of the things that you did to kind of veer away from your feminine consciousness? What sort of things did you do? So was it the way you dressed, the way you behaved, the way you thought? What was it?
Yeah, definitely. I suppose the way I dressed and the way, it would have to be the way I thought about things. It was almost a too scary place to go, because when you do, then bad things happen, or people take advantage of that, or that kind of, thinking. It was just safer not to go there. But now it's just so liberating to be able to go there and to feel that freedom, not only.
So that's a nice word. I like the freedom and the femininity. It's not so constrained and like the masculineness. Like when we're, tight ship, controls. Put this together. Got to plan this ahead or logically work out how I'm going to do stuff. Versus the freedom that's experienced in that. So, I've asked numbers of women this question about femininity. It's not just about the external, though, is it?
No, it's not.
How can you relate to the feminine from an internal point of view, or a responsive point of view, or from a receiving point of view, or even to do with sexuality, even, the way we relate to our sexuality, our bodies, our cycles, what's occurring. I mean, that's all feminine,
absolutely. And it's very much an internal thing. I mean, yes, it's external, but I think more internal, really, almost, than the external, and it's knowing that, it's okay to be a woman. It's okay to have those feelings and, want to do that stuff. And I was saying to Debbie the other day, because since I've been back working at home, because you're not dressing up to go to work or whatever, I thought about you and what you say about, don't just leave your earrings for going out or anything.
Exactly. Put them on. Put your perfume on at night if you want to, wear your sexiest underwear wherever.
Exactly.
Or not.
So actually the holes in my ears were starting to close up and then getting sore, and I thought, no, I'm just going to wear my earrings around home.
Well, I came to that realisation years ago. I mean, as you know, I've got numbers of kids, and I used to traipse up and do the school pick-up at the end of the day, and I wasn't that, I just wander along in my glad drags, really. And why am I doing this? Why am I doing this? What's why could I not turn up as something that's beautiful or beautiful and I really take some pride around that, and I love that. That's what I love about my new partner Pierre, because he's so French and he's so in his masculine that he just absolutely appreciates me and my inner feminine, sure, but also he'll notice whether I've got my earrings in or not. He'll notice whether my lipstick's looking a bit off or not. He'll notice a little hole in my dress if I've got one, because he wants me to take pride. He loves that. He's very proud. And loves being with me as a confident woman who really enjoys being and feeling beautiful. So how do you be and feel beautiful?
Even to the point of, like, this last summer, I started just wearing dresses again, so like not with tights or anything underneath, but just dresses. And it was so hot anyway, but I just loved it. I was like, nah, don't care. It's like, I just feel great. And it was like, when winter came, I was like, really?
Stuff those pants on again.
I don't want to put all these big heavy things on again, but it's like, but you can still do stuff that's, it was just, for me, that was, sounds like a simple thing, but it was actually a really big deal for me, and I just loved it, just so embraced the whole dress thing and just loved it. So it was great.
Right. Hey, a random thought just coming, and I'm just turning 50, just entering menopause, and I don't know where you're at with where you're at with menopause.
Oh, I'm 50, what am I going to be? I always forget. I'm 56 at the moment, so I'm kind of I still have occasional hot flashes every now and again, but pretty much I'm kind of through the other side, I think. But it's an interesting process to go through.
I'm just curious as to whether you have noticed that during those menopause years, whether you feel that there was a connection between that and your growing creativity.
Oh, okay. Yeah, possibly, because I think you become a bit less worried about what other people say and what they think, and you just go, you know what, I really think this is what I need to do, and I've got to follow that, you know. And people don't understand either. I mean, you know, like I had to tell my new boss that, you know, when I came to this realization that's, well, actually, you're a really good boss and you're a really nice person, but that isn't actually what I need to be doing. I don't want to do bookkeeping anymore, you know, and I had to kind of tell him that, and I'm like, oh my goodness, how's that going to go? But, you know, he didn't kind of understand to start with, but he respected that was my decision. And
it's being courageous to be honouring your needs.
Yeah. I mean, you know, my husband thought I was crackers. Why, when you've now got a great boss and he's giving you pay rises, would you want to go? And I said, but it's not feeding my soul. It's sitting in front of a computer screen all day doing someone else's bookkeeping is not feeding my soul, and I need to do that for me.
Yeah.
And that was a great revelation. But interesting that people will not intentionally necessarily come against what you're trying to do, but they'll kind of go, oh, that's right, why would you do, you know? And so you have to actually take a stand and go, yeah, I know it sounds weird and wacky, I know it doesn't sound, you know, it doesn't make sense, but I have to follow that.
And we're so conditioned to have to do it a certain way.
Yeah.
It's like, no, actually we don't. What I love, it's just reminded me of one of my favourite authors, and that's Christiana Northrup. Do you know her?
Yes, I do. I've read one of her.
I love her. Also got the menopause book as well.
Yeah.
And I love what she talks about. She's got sort of two circles, and she's got society's needs and soul needs. And she talks about earlier kind of reproductive years as our society's needs. So we're always as women, or typically as women, dealing with other people's needs, the families, the dogs, the husband, the boss, the workplace, and being in the society and being on the PTA and doing all those things. You know, and versus as we come into menopause, you know, we come into this lovely soul needs phase where what are my personal needs? What's my soul actually pining for?
Yes.
That if I do not feed, I will die.
Absolutely.
You know, there are many women out there dying.
Yes.
Souls are dying in relationships and jobs, that and dead end stuff that they're just going, I'm doing this, you know, or not even thinking, but they are doing it out of habit or out of feeling that they have to, need to, whatever. For that, and providing reasons for that. What I love, it's really helped me in my own path at this phase of my life too, particularly now that I've just got 2 out of my 6 kids at home. Going, hey, what's really important to me now? What are my needs? What are my wants? What are my desires? What are my pleasures? What am I now going to say no to? Not out of nastiness.
No.
Needing and wanting and desiring to really fulfill the needs that are important to me now at my soul, at a soul level.
Yes.
And some people can be put out by that.
And they don't know how to deal with it. It's like, oh, okay.
But creativity doesn't fit into that box.
That's
what we need to do.
And then it's like, well, how do you think you're going to make any money out of that? But I just felt very led to, you know, that's, I don't know where it's going to end. It could take me down off to some other path. Who knows? But I just know that I knew that I had to go there, you know, and
so you're using words like no, I know, there was a knowingness that I was led with, very intuitive feminine stuff. So where does intuition play a part in your life?
Oh, huge part now. And as I say, as a child and even growing up, I'd shut all that off for a lot of obvious reasons now to me. But so it's very much a part of who I am and what I do now, and the way that I go in my life, if you like, very much part of that. So it's,
So how do you, I mean, we all relate to intuition differently and feel and see and hear it differently. What's the way that you're into an intuition? How do you know stuff?
I don't know. It's a hard one to quantify, I guess. It's, I don't know. I mean, I don't make as many rash decisions and all that as I used to. I just kind of think about things a little bit more and have some quiet space, and then if I just really, I guess, know deep down in my soul, and I go, okay, yep. You kind of just know between the difference between a real rash decision and something you've got, oh gosh.
Yeah. Well, that knowingness often manifests in our bodies as a peace feeling, you know?
Yeah. And it's just,
we don't know where it's going, but in that moment, we're not going, we're just, okay, I take the next step. And that's what I so admire you. And I love to live my life the same way. It's just, often I don't know what's ahead, and I don't have a business model or anything like that, but I do know I'm in the right place at the right time. I do know I'm having the conversations that I need to be having, that are helpful to me and they're helpful to other people. And for me, I get the shivery feeling. I know something. I feel it. I'm very tactile and kinesthetic and feel it in my body, and have a knowingness as well. But great that as women we have lots of ways we that knowingness, whether we hear stuff, see stuff.
And I mean, that's scary too. I mean, not knowing where something's going. It's like, you tell people, well, this is what I'm going to do, and they go, oh, well, then, do you have a plan? And I go, not at this point, no.
And it's the way of the masculine. The masculine is linear and says, hey, here's where I'm heading, and this is how I'll get there. But as men and women, I believe that there's a different way. It's that connecting path of going, okay, I take that, but I don't even know what's around the corner yet, but I will do what it takes in my knowingness. This moment, hey, this feels right.
And interestingly, I mean, my husband, as I say, thought I was nuts, leaving now a really good boss, really good job. So he was sort of like a freaked out about the whole thing, but now has sort of done a complete 360 and is completely behind, and sees that yes, I was doing it for me, but also as a way of us having a new lifestyle together. So don't know what that looks like just yet, but he knows that is a part of it for me as well. So my first and foremost was for me and for my soul. But
hey, interesting. That's an interesting turn as well. We were talking courageous woman and how you were always supporting other people first. And what you've just said is, hey, it's actually about me now.
It's actually about me.
But with the caring knowledge that you have people around like your husband, and your stand, this is what I'm hearing, your stand, as much as he resisted in the start, is making an impact. And he's now 100% behind me, so it's fabulous. So it's great.
And that to me confirms what I thought, that whatever happens, it's going to be something for the both of us as well. So it's been, but you just have to stand with that as well, even when through the times where your significant other might not be so happy about what you're doing, but
and some people are envious of that. There's this quote online, and I can't exactly remember it, but something about moving to your own rhythm, and I often think of the hare and the tortoise. And for me, what I've learned over the last 10 years perhaps is that my rhythm used to be Superwoman, I used to think I had to be that. I don't actually have to be that. And my natural rhythm, when I really, really listen to my body, is actually quite a slow rhythm. And I was always going pum, 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 pum. And, on occasions I still find myself doing that. But I've learned really to come down to feel at peace within my body at that rhythm. And sometimes that doesn't look like I'm doing a lot. But actually, does it really matter? Does it really matter? Do I have to get somewhere? Do I have to be somebody at this moment in my life? Actually, no. I'll just continue to move and flow with what intuitively is coming, what the Spirit's leading me into, and sit in that patience game sometimes. That's true. Sometimes, a lot of colours mixed together. We're in that sort of no woman's that went on that, that not knowing land. And just go, hey, I'm here, and what is of me to do? What do I need to be doing today? If anything, and what pace feels comfortable for me to be doing that, rather than being pressured into the tick-off list.
Absolutely.
Hey, this is awesome, Kathy. Appreciate you for today. I'm just looking down. I actually have a magazine next to me. It's not surprising, really. Not that I read magazines often, but the big headline on this magazine, it's Mind Food, in fact, is Trust Yourself.
Wow.
Moving beyond betrayal. So a message in there for you and a message in there for me. And some of my story this morning. So that's what I love, and I'm getting the shivers as we speak. That's probably the most profound part of our conversation today.
Yeah.
And the message is around trusting ourselves, our intuitive knowingness.
Yeah.
Trusting ourselves that our needs and desires are important.
Yeah.
Trusting our soul, going, hey, know where you're to be in this moment of your life, with who you've got around you, with what talents and skills you have. I so get that. And I'm really feeling strongly that that's one of our key messages for the woman today. So absolutely, thank you so much for today. You are a courageous woman, not in the same context as you were, and that's part of who you are. But
I'd just like to say too, the other thing that I've kind of let go of now, as well as my bookkeeping and all that kind of stuff, is being the rescuer, which was very much a big part of my life before. So now it's about me. So it's been an interesting process too. And people have tried to pull me back into that a few times as well, but it's like, no, that's not who I am anymore,
Yeah, not restraining you,
Yeah.
Letting the leash free to,
It doesn't mean you don't help people, but that was my thing, to try and be the rescuer for everyone. But it's, cool.
It's not for you anymore.
No.
But not the rescuer. So once again, thanks. And for you ladies out there who are listening on, and is there some way we can contact you, Kathy, if they loved your artwork? Where is your artwork by chance?
At the moment, it's just on Trade Me. So
So where would they find that on Trade Me? Is it under your name or?
No, it's under my member name, or if you look, because basically the photos are something that you can hang outdoors, so they're completely waterproof and all that. So it's under outdoor art if you search.
Perfect. Outdoor art. And if anyone wants to get hold of me, of course, I'm at janellefletcher.com or somebodybeautiful.com. That's way easier to remember. I've got a book coming up too, so my creative bent, I don't know if you've known, I've just written a book, so that's exciting. That's coming out soon, called Dancing in Our Own Full Moonlight. So really
nice.
Woman being there, ebb and flow, being real, being honest, and just being awesome woman, really. So thank you so much.
You're welcome.
See you soon. Ciao, ciao.
Okay, bye.